Hi, everybody. Welcome
Good
to
afternoon.
Maximize Monday. Hope everybody's well. Um, we had a good weekend. Church was good yesterday.
It really was. Not that
Um,
it's not good every Sunday, but it was
yeah,
really good yesterday.
I feel like what I think I'm saying is it feels like we're getting our flow back. It's been-
Mhm.
After like it took a few weeks, kind of. I know the people probably don't recognize it, but from us
Yeah.
internally, it kind of feels like we're getting our
I think everyone, is having to ease into it because I
yeah.
feel like there are a couple moments yesterday where things could have popped off.
Yes, yeah. It feels like a bubbles. It's
You
starting
gotta
to
get it. Yeah. But
it's
when
going
it
to burst.
when it goes, it's gonna go.
It's going to go. So that's the cool thing. It's going to go.
Hmm.
Uh, that's what it felt like. It felt like it's like a pressure pipe. And
Yeah.
yeah, but for those of us working, whew, if it's this, we're back into it. I should have had
Love
skates
it.
on yesterday.
I forgot how big the church was.
Oh, for all
Having
the
to
on the
walk
back,
back and
yeah,
forth for pictures and whatnot.
yeah.
And get my
I,
exercise in.
this was going on. We need you to come here and do this. I'm like, all right, I'll be right there in 2 minutes. It's just, just
Yeah.
doing everything. But it's all good. It's a pleasure to do
Mhm.
the work of the ministry, and y'all come on and uh, please share this broadcast with everybody. We see the numbers popping on. If you're watching us for the first time, please type VIP in the chat. If you're watching us as you normally do, just shout us out. Let us know that you're watching. We would love for you to be a part of, you know, what the Lord is doing with us today. And we know people watch. We just want to see who's watching. Hey, Kaijo.
Yep.
And what's up,
Hey.
Kife? Even our normals. What's up, Kareems? I got people. Oh, I watch you guys every Monday. Why don't you ever say something? I don't
I
know. Just
know. So we want you to be part of the peanut gallery. Say something.
right, right. So, welcome. Hey,
Internet.
Internet. How you
Is
doing?
she a VIP pass for Nick?
Well, to us, she is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen her before, but
she's
welcome.
she's been in.
Uh-huh.
So we'll let her slide this time. So welcome everybody. We're so glad that you all are tuned in with us. Hey Tammy, this afternoon it is 12 o'clock, and yeah, don't forget our Abundant Harvest Bible Institute starts on tomorrow. Actually,
Yeah, the
Pastor
25th.
Prescott's class starts tomorrow, the 25th. I gotta get ready for my class. That's why I asked you all that
Mm-hmm.
PowerPoint stuff.
Uh, did you
the
work it out?
Yeah, I'm just going to do it regular way. I ain't going to do all that extra stuff.
All right. I'll show you the extra stuff if you want me to.
I will gladly accept that. I'm just thinking week to week, putting all those slides together and creating all those graphics, and
Welcome
it's
to my world, Pastor Nick.
no. I look. I told y'all
Yeah.
hands down, I am good. Y'all got it. I'll just because I got to study on top of
Yeah.
putting that. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay.
But but anyway, just welcome everybody. Her class begins tomorrow. Go to our website, go to bethany.com and click on AHBI, and you can register classes. Her class begins tomorrow night. My class starts on Thursday. She's
Hmm.
teaching on the book of Philippians. I am teaching on the book of Romans. And then Pastor Grice, Corey Grice, you haven't, he's a great, great teacher. He's actually both of them, Pastor P and Pastor Grice, great teachers. His class begins on Monday the 31st. It's online. You could take multiple classes if you want to. Some people are taking two or
Yep.
three uh, because again, it's all virtual. And yeah, and don't forget your registration for Sunday service. Well, I feel like today is Tuesday for some reason.
It does feel like Tuesday.
Ends on Wednesday at 6 o'clock, not 9 p.m. Sorry, Wednesday 9 p.m. Today
Yep.
is Monday. Today is Monday. Today is Monday.
So registration opened yesterday at
Yes,
6 p.m. Now you got me messed it up. And we'll close on
messed it up,
Wednesday.
messed it up, messed it.
I said messing. I said messing up. And we'll close on Wednesday at 9.
We all messed it up.
That's
Uh,
not what I said.
uh, And our harvest festival is this Friday at 6:30.
Yes.
We're probably going to be out there for about an hour and some change, not long, but just enough time to kind of do a little music, probably do some giveaways, have some candy, take some pictures, just hang out. Chef's going to do the funnel cake, and we got other people coming in, some food trucks for food for purchase, and all that good stuff. So just join us on Friday. All right, let's get to this conversation. We've been bantering for about 6 minutes, and you can pull the graphic back up, and we will go from there.
Okay.
So we did 1 through 4 of negative thinking patterns. And why are we bringing this up? Because you cannot change a pattern that you haven't first identified. And all of us have at least one of these. I'm being generous when I say at least one, because all of us struggle in some way, shape, or form with these particular things. And if you missed any of them, go back and watch our previous weeks, and we went through all or nothing thinking, especially for those who are perfectionist driven, overgeneralizing, which we've all have done before, mental filtering, which we all struggle with to a certain degree, where we filter things through our negative process. And then yesterday, come on, slow down, Nick. Last Monday, we did jump into conclusions, where you rush to assumptions and all that. And today, oh Lord, let's talk about catastrophizing. You magnify things way out of proportion. You make it bigger than what it is. You can take it down now. As we used to say back in the day, you made a mountain out of a molehill. Something this big. And by the time you got them thinking about it, all of a sudden, something that was supposed to be this big became this big.
Yep.
Something that triggered you that you could have got over in 2 minutes. We overthought it, made it bigger, and it take you a year to finally move on from it. This big. It's like having a conversation. I've been in conversations with people where it took 40 minutes to have the conversation. And by the time we got to the resolution, I said, we could have talked about this in 5 minutes. This could have been a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Because all this other stuff turned into a 40-minute conversation when all we had to do was just talk about this real quick, fix it, and move on. But we have a way of catastrophizing and making stuff bigger than what it is. And all of us, to some degree, are guilty of it. Something will happen. Your imagination will start to get the best of you. And you'll start assuming a conclusion. You'll start thinking about stuff that happened in your past that correlates to what just happened. You'll start thinking about the next time I see that person or the next time I had that conversation without even talking to the individual to check their opinion. We start speculating. There it is. That's where we start speculating. And then all of a sudden, something that triggered you in one moment turned into a whole narrative. You wrote a whole book about something that was that big. So let's take a little example. Somebody that you love hurt you, right? Then you start thinking of everybody that hurt you in your past. You think of everybody just hurt you recently. And then you start assuming and anticipating somebody hurting you in your future, and something that big turned into nobody loves me, nobody cares, I keep getting hurt, this whole list of stuff. Instead of isolating the incident to the thing that happened, it triggers so much in us. And my question is, does that have more to say? Does that say more about what happened to us externally, or more about how we internally process things?
I think it's the latter. Yeah.
Good.
No, I think a lot of it too is just that we don't like to process things. And so we curtail our responsibilities into other situations instead of looking in and say, okay, where do I need to adjust? Okay, maybe is this an issue? Is this an issue because of something else that I dealt with? That we make it way bigger than what it needs to be just because we didn't look at this one area in our lives.
Yep.
And it's funny because we have such a big imagination. What would happen if we use some of that brain power in other areas of our lives?
Yeah. Isn't it funny? I'm glad you brought that up. Isn't it funny how we can creatively imagine the worst,
Mm-hmm.
but find it hard to creatively imagine the best?
Mm-hmm.
It's like we take the worst of it and run it to its completion.
Yeah.
But a good idea or somebody tells us something good about us, we either dismiss it or just, oh, thank you, and move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, say you're wearing something where you don't quite feel comfortable in it, like you're not sure, let's say something
Mm-hmm.
trivial like that. You kind of like unsure, you don't feel
Yeah.
totally comfortable. You don't walk out the house like, I'm really wearing some clothes today. You kind of, you
Uh-huh.
know, 20 people compliment you on it. One person say, that's an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
And that just ruins this because is it really the outside, or does that one person confirm how we internally feel about ourselves? And again, it goes back to, does that say more about the external than it does the internal processes that we have?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I venture to say the latter.
Yep. Yeah, because if you say something to me that I know isn't true, or whatever, it's not going to bother me. But if it aligns with something that I'm feeling on the inside, that's what hurts, right? So that's the area that needs to be worked on.
Yeah, it's that catastrophizing. It's that nobody cares. I'll never find this. I'll never. Nah. And when we look at the Garden of Eden, Satan kind of works through this with Adam and Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and tempting them that the reason God doesn't want you to eat the fruit because he doesn't want you to be like him. And then you take something that's so small, and all of a sudden now it becomes an offense to you. And something that shouldn't be offensive now becomes offensive because somebody else brought it up. How can I say this? It's crazy how sometimes we won't be offended about a thing until somebody brings it up.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're upset about it, they start talking to you about it, and all of a sudden you mad now because not because of the thing, but because we let them hype us up about it.
Mm-hmm.
We were fine until we talked to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden you don't like somebody, or you don't like
Angry all
something.
over again. Yep.
And there are some times where it's valid, but there are other times where it's the person putting their issues on us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, just because you don't like the person doesn't mean you got to put your issues on me. But sometimes I'm just using it as an example of how we allow these things to speak to something in us.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden we start catastrophizing, and that one person not speaking to you now, because it connects to that issue of your insecurity and not feeling loved and not feeling cared for. And we said it last week. Sometimes God will allow an offense to reveal an immaturity in us.
Mm.
God will allow something to offend you to reveal an area of growth in you. That some of us, we're all sensitive to a certain degree, are too soft. There's a difference between being sensitive and soft.
Mm-hmm.
Soft is you allow those things to dominate your life. Sensitivity is you feel it, but you don't allow it to dominate everything about you.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Where somebody not speaking to you doesn't ruin your whole day. It may get you for a moment, but you move on. You get the difference. I'm trying to draw a little line.
Uh-huh.
But again, usually when we make something bigger than what it is, it's because it affects something in here.
Mm-hmm.
We're already offended by it, and then something outside just it happens, and we just blow it all up.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people come in my office and tell me nobody loves me. Everybody, I do everything for them, and they always let me down. And I start asking them the question, nobody loves you? Nobody really loves me. So what about this person? Will they love me? What about this person? Will they love me? Oh, If these people really love you and there's only two, why do you say nobody
Right.
loves you? Just admit the person you want to love you doesn't love you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're really trying to say. Nobody accepts me. No, the person you want to accept you doesn't accept you.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And they're like, oh, I never thought about it like that. Well, that means somebody loves you, somebody accepts you. You just want a certain person to do it, and you're neglecting everybody else that does.
But why do we think that we give that person or that experience so much power over our lives?
I don't
Like,
know.
why do we do that?
It almost feels like if I get this person to love me or accept me, I'm validated.
Okay.
It validates something in us. We're crazy. I almost said we're stupid. We're, but we're crazy when you think about it. It's like a child who, thank God you had to worry about this, but a child who grew up in a single parent household, the parent that's there, they don't appreciate that parent
Mm-hmm.
as much as they appreciate the one that's not around.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that is around and loves them, they find it hard to accept that love. But if the person that's not around loves me, that means I am lovable.
Mm-hmm.
It validates something in the individual. It's a twisted.
It's like the forbidden fruit. It's the same thing.
It's a forbidden fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
If this person accepts me, that means I'm acceptable, rather than I don't accept me. So I have a hard time with people that I have a hard time genuinely believing that another person will accept me, except this person over here. Is that forbidden fruit? Like, this person doesn't like short people. You feel all bad because they don't like short people. Then all of a sudden they like you. Oh, that means short is good. Well, you didn't need that person to tell you short was good. How do you feel about short? you get what I'm saying? But you're right. It's that forbidden fruit. It's that this thing I can't have or not supposed to have. Now that I finally have it, it makes me feel good about me until you get it and realize it wasn't what it wasn't all that in the first place.
Wow.
We're crazy.
It amazes me how we just keep on doing the same thing over and over again, and we're not learning the lesson.
Yeah. I don't. Part of me, again, I could be wrong. Part of me thinks we have a hard time accepting that somebody purely cares about us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if this transactional person cares about me, then good. But nobody can genuinely accept me for who I am and love me for who I am. And we have a hard time believing it. I don't know what's wrong. It's like, but I almost said a word, but a joker who, you won't probably know the word I almost said. The joker who just has the hardest time accepting them. Who just, the joke who's not good. We want them to accept us so bad to validate something in us, rather than just seeking your own validation from you and God and the right people. I don't know. Just it's almost like, here it is. You ever heard this? People say this phrase. Somebody like, well, stop worrying about them. I love you and care about you. Oh, but you're supposed to love and care about me.
Right. It doesn't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean anything because that's what you're supposed to do. You know how crazy that sounds?
I don't have to love you.
Thank you. I don't have to. I'm choosing to. You're my mom. You're my dad. You're supposed to say that. Actually, I don't.
Especially not my mom.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna start. I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm gonna start doing like a count between how many times you or your mom cry in church.
Oh, so, boy.
I think she has you beat. Because you don't cry like that as much. You just start kind of jumping and stuff. But I'm gonna start taking a tally.
Did she have me beat? Okay.
On how many between the two of y'all, because
that's funny.
Every time I turn around, your mom either crying doing worship or something.
One or the other, right? That's funny. Yeah,
which is good though. Right,
and then I start when she starts.
Right. Forgive me, Mama. I'm just teasing. But anyway, I'm sorry. I was rambling. Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
forgot what we're talking about now.
Oh, the people say you're supposed to say that because
Oh
you're my
yeah.
mom, you're my dad, or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't
We
know.
discount the genuine. But go ahead.
No, I just wish we could get to a place where we could just start to appreciate the things that we have and seeing the blessing in that, because that will open our eyes to how much they're important to our lives instead of what we can't have or the people, who don't want, right? We have to just learn to be grateful for what we have
Yeah,
and appreciate it so much more.
yeah. But that goes to show how strong the need for affirmation is
Hmm.
in some people, and how strong the need for approval and attention is that strong.
Hmm.
I mean, but to me, it's so false because the right person that you want to give you all that attention give it to you, and after a few months, you start feeling empty again because it's not about the other person.
Hmm.
It's between you and God. It, if you
Yeah.
don't accept you, you're going to find it hard for other people to accept you. It's like the man or woman of your dreams can show up in the first couple of months. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Then all of a sudden, you're like, I can't believe this. And you start doing stuff up, and they can't be real. And they can't really, because if you can't learn to love you, it's hard to accept somebody else loving you, no matter who it is.
You're gonna think it's fake. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. You're going to find something wrong. Literally going to find something wrong. Um, it's like pouring water into a well with no bottom.
Hmm.
No matter how much you pour into it, it's always going to be hungry for more.
Hmm.
Always. Self-acceptance is, I don't know how we got out here, but self-acceptance is important. And self-acceptance doesn't mean you like everything about you. It just means overall, I'm good with me.
And I think that's where the confusion comes in with the whole body positive self-love thing, is that we think that everything's supposed to be, butterflies and rainbows and you're supposed to love yourself all the time. No, it's being able to have those days where you're just not feeling it and to still find, well, I'm going to love myself anyway. It's still acknowledging the bad times in and all.
Yeah. I think that's one of the problems that I have with the body positive movement is it's an all or nothing thing. There's no nuance in there. None
Right.
at all. To me, if you're really positive with yourself,
Hmm.
that doesn't mean you stay the way that you are. It means I can make changes to myself in good ways,
In good
in good ways,
ways, healthy
in
ways.
healthy
Yeah.
ways, right? So I feel good about myself. So I make sure I'm trying my best to be healthy. I'm not talking about size. I'm talking about health.
Hmm.
I'm doing things, and especially when you get older,
Yeah.
stuff changes. And I know people grown, older than us, their value themselves is such in how they look that they do everything, even if it's bad for them, to try to maintain a look. And they have this hardest time accepting that things are changing.
Hmm.
When you get older, stuff, as Bishop said yesterday, there's some memorials in the closet. It ain't going nowhere, right? It just stuff changes.
Yep.
Things start spreading. Gravity starts kicking in a little more. You don't lose weight as fast as you used to.
Hmm.
It changes. So what you gonna do? Spend your whole entire life just miserable? Or are you gonna make positive changes, and those things that ain't changing, just learn to just is what it is, okay?
Hmm. And it's sad to see the people who don't get that.
Yeah.
And they do all type of work to try and fix and tuck and everything else, and then it's just a downward spiral.
Yeah,
It's
still
so
not happy.
sad. Yep.
And I'm not against people, making some changes, working out, losing weight, and building muscle. I'm for all that. I'm fine with that. But but some people are addicted to it, and no matter what they change, are still never happy with themselves. It's something deeper inside of them, And then conversely, you have to accept me for who I am. No, I don't. No, I don't. and just love me for who I am. I don't have to. It's, you know, in learning how to just make those adjustments. People
Mhm.
don't have to accept you for who you are, and that's okay. Somebody else may.
Right.
People like different things. It's like I know people, they're short. I don't want nobody short. But I don't like short people. Well, you want people to accept you're short. Like, how are you biased against something that you are? Like, it's
Right.
hello? Like, but you want everybody to accept your shortness, but you won't accept somebody else's? Like, come on. You 5'2".
Mhm.
I don't want somebody 6'3" and over. I don't want nobody below 6'3". You are 5'2". Right? It's,
That
I'm
made no
sorry.
sense.
Just don't give me started. It's just like you demand validation, but don't, you know, or demand acceptance for yourself, but then be unacceptable towards other people that fit your
Mhm.
same description. It makes no sense. I'm not saying people can't have a preference.
Right.
Fine. You know, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm doing something.
Saved by the bell.
All right, right. I got my kids. It just like, come on, y'all. Come on.
It's true though. It's
You
true
want
though.
somebody in the gym all the time, but you never go. Come on, y'all. Let's be real here. Let's like, come on.
Hmm.
I'm not saying people can have a preference, but let's be realistic here too. We
Yeah.
demand from others what we're unwilling to give ourselves. All right, I'm done. Get myself in trouble. I know the New Age movement. They demand radical acceptance. And guess what? There are people out there who will be okay with it, and some people who won't. And guess what? It's okay. I believe people have a right to a preference, but they don't have a right to diminish somebody that's not their preference.
Right.
All right. I think I'll leave that there. I don't want to start ranting again, but I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead and say something before I can shut up.
No, I mean I ain't got nothing to say to that because I'm with you. Like,
Just saying.
being hypocritical is a thing, and I just don't understand it.
I'm just look. I get Kevin Samuels when he was alive was very controversial. And I didn't
Mhm.
listen much to him, but one of the things I do agree on is he got on men just like women, and this principle was totally true. You want somebody that you're not, and people got mad at him for saying that, but part of that is true. And he got on the guy. I remember he ate this guy up. He's like, you this, you that, you ain't got no job, you look like a slob, but you want somebody that looks like a model. I mean, his delivery was bad. If his delivery is a little softer, it might have went across better. But he ate this guy up.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, look at you. But again, the premise was you talking about you don't want to accept this about you, but you want people to accept you, but you want to accept the same thing as somebody else. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And it just goes back in. Sorry, my dogs are going off now. But it just goes back to the love that you have for yourself. Because, I mean, my opinion is that if you love yourself and respect yourself and how you want to be treated, I know they're annoying. and how you want to be treated, like you wouldn't do that to other people.
Exactly. That's my premise.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a preference, but don't devalue somebody that doesn't fit your preference or devalue people that look just like you. All right, I'm sorry. I'm done. All right. I'm just. All right.
It's true.
So glad you guys joined us today. Maya's dogs are really going off. Well, those little mutts you might call them.
Leave my babies alone.
Yeah, sure. So glad you all could join us again today. This is a very spirited time. I gotta get back to my kids. Don't forget to join us. What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Safe House Ministry.
Safe House Ministry at 7:00. Join us for that Wednesday Bible study, of course, at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Thursday, or we're done? Or off Thursday?
No, this is an extra week, so we're off.
So we do have a Bible Institute again starting tomorrow. Go to our website. Go to Bethany.com. Pastor Prescott's class begins tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is on Thursday, and I think we're off on Friday too. On point on Saturday. Oh,
Friday
sorry.
we have the Harvest Festival.
Oh, Harvest Festival on Friday.
Come out
Harvest
for
Festival.
that. Yep.
6:30. Come out for the Harvest Fest. We're not going to be out there all night, so get there on time. We're going to start promptly at 6:30. Harvest Fest. Have a good time. Bring your kids. Bring the grandkids, cousins. Have a trunk or treat for the kids. A bunch of other stuff. So make sure you join us on Friday at 6:30. The weather's supposed to be good in the 60s. And then Saturday on point. Sunday service. Register for Sunday service. And join us. If you are a new member and you have not, or even you've been with us for a long time and haven't taken advantage of our Embrace New Members class, you need to join us.
Yeah.
You need to join us for Embrace class. Since it's online now, people are finishing quicker because you can take multiple classes and get done faster. But if you want more information about that, call Pastor Prescott at the Church Extension 107. Again, the Church Extension 107 to join us for Embrace class. All right, y'all. I'm hungry. And God bless y'all, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.